talking till 3, sharing old stories, just them and me. The world's fast asleep, but we're wide awake, sipping on coffee, no plans to break. Time fades away as the night drifts on, lost in the laughter, the dark nearly gone. No need for answers, no reason why, just two souls awake beneath the sky. No rush, just stars and soft street lights, starting or ending, it feels just right. Up late with a friend, the world's at rest, these quiet chats, yeah, they're the best. So here's to late nights, the quiet and deep, with a friend by your side when you should be asleep. In the calm of the night, life feels bright, ending or starting, we're feeling just right. Time fades away as the night drifts on, lost in the laughter, the dark nearly gone. No need for answers, no reason why, just two souls awake beneath the sky. No rush, just stars and soft street lights, starting or ending, it feels just right. Up late with a friend, the world's at rest, these quiet chats, yeah, they're the best. No rush, just stars and soft street lights, starting or ending, it feels just right. Up late with a friend, the world's at rest, these quiet chats, yeah, they're the best. These quiet chats, yeah, they're the best, yeah, they're the best. These quiet chats, yeah, they're the best, the quiet and deep best.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you might be. And can we just recognize the most beautiful woman in the universe? We're not just talking about planet Earth, but the universe is Danish. Sweden, you have been spreading false information since the 70s about how hot your ladies are. We have the hottest lady in the universe. It's facts. You can't debate it. It's facts. Sweden is not good enough. Good morning, all. How are we doing this fine morning? Thank you all so much for participating yesterday in the anti-griftathon grift giveaway grifting. It was so nice to have a lot of people here participating. I love that someone who never ever really goes into chat won one of the gifts on the first try. They try and participate and then showed up in the Discord for a little voice chat later, because I think you got her fooled that we are nice people. I know you, but she thinks you're nice people. No, it's so nice that the community is growing and that we show people that you don't have to sit online and talk about everyone else behind their back in little Discord groups, make videos about how crazy other content creators are, or blame men and women and everything in between. Just to spread a little joy, you can just get some Lego, give it away, and have awesome people in your chat who are very welcoming, who are nice, who are not a safe space, but where we can discuss as adults and say, well, maybe I'm wrong, maybe you're wrong, but we're still friends. So thank you so much for restoring a little bit of faith in humanity for me, because I have been a little down. That is down, because I'm not a part of all that free care and read crap drama going on. Luckily, I think I spotted a fakester before everyone else. But seeing everyone getting at each other's throats over, I don't know what happened. I sleep when all the fun things happen. And then now it's spawned into, I can't follow along. So I'm happy that we're sitting here in our little duck pond and quacky at each other without going too crazy. Hottest real woman. I think she's the hottest woman at, I don't, whatever you want to call him. Yes, it's always nice to when you get to give something back. Oh, don't tell her how bad you really are. Hey, Nina Canadian. Karen Reed's situation has the ability to bring anyone down. It has spiraled so wildly out of control. I don't know how many of you do the YouTubes. Hey, Rachel. You missed the drama? Well, I'll surmise the drama for you then, because drama is my thing. I'm really fond of drama. I don't know how much you do YouTube. YouTube is very cutthroat for some people because they see the shiny city on the hill, as Reagan used to say, and they can't wait to get there. And they think the best way to get there is first kiss ass, and the second they have kissed enough ass that they don't need to kiss that ass anymore, they will use them as a stepping stone and start kissing a new ass. That's a really good way to grow fast, but it's a really bad way to stay for the long term. There's a lot of people that will sell you smoke and they will voluntarily blow it up your ass just to get those 20 bucks in a super chat or those 5 more subs. And it's really good. The grift is good. I could be standing here. I'm an idiot because I try to be reasonable. Of course, I embellish some stories. I claim Jamie isn't mean. Everyone knows that's a lie, but I have to do it for the brand. But I could have been standing here doing the normal grift. Disney's bad. 24-hour coverage of politics, something. Trying to get a lot of eyes on me by saying some outlandish things. I'm not good at that because back when I started, I had a talk with a guy who seems really, really airheady online, but actually is really good to talk business with, the expert, where you can either be here for the 5 minutes and the stack of cash, or you can be here for the 5 years. A normal YouTube career has a lifespan of 5 years. Or you can be here for the 5 years and have a good progression. And I was fine where I was. I'm fine everywhere I am. Again, I get up at 5 in the morning to do a show that attracts 50 people. Everyone would tell you shouldn't do that because the algorithm, the money, I like doing them. These are my off the cuff where I say the stuff that I don't see on my mainstream sometimes, or maybe I'll let a little more loose and talk about the stuff I won't touch in the day shows. But it's bad for business. It's hurting my algorithm with YouTube because I do 200. Well, I'm blowing smoke. I do like 170 on a Lake and Riley day stream. Now I'm doing a night stream with 50 people. The algorithm will say, "Hey, we're not going to recommend this idiot anymore." So, but I'm not in it for the algorithm. I'm not in it for the grift. I appreciate the grift, but I also appreciate giving a little bit back. I just like to hang out with people, and some people think. I think this is continuing influencer culture we're having, where everyone wants to be a Mr. Beast or Logan Paul or whatever big creator you like. And I would love to have streams as big as EDB or these people, because yeah, it could be fun for the personal gratification, sitting here saying, "Oh my god, I remember the first time I had 1,000 viewers." But I just don't want to feed it to get to the 1,000 every time, because I would rather, and again, be honest, because I don't give you everything. Um, but I would rather, I have this big thing where, because my camera is right there, I have to look myself in the eyes, and I'd rather try and be the most honest I can be while still being entertaining. Well, thank you, Anne. He said he was going to sleep for 5 hours, Volstorm. The timeline fits legit. Yeah, I woke up at 3 and been awake for 2 hours and thinking, nope, it's planned for 5 o'clock. You have to stay up. You didn't make it 5 years. No, but that's it happens. Steady effort wins the race. Again, Diva, if you ladies would just be faster, you didn't need the steady effort. And I said on average. I love your night stream. For those of us who don't sleep, it's always nice to hang out with you. You're such a genuine person. I'm not. I'm the baker. He's not. He's not me. We are all personas. But I think if any of you watch wrestling, probably not. That I have 85% female viewers. In wrestling, they are talking about how do you make a gimmick work. The Undertaker, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan. How do you make it work? And they all say if it works, it's you just turned up. Because I'm not always happy. I'm not always trying to be engaging. Again, I've slept 4 hours tonight. I'm probably going to hit the sack a little earlier today because I need a little more sleep, because I'll also have my day stream. So the baker will take a time off, and then my real name will be there, and hate that I do plans like this, and then I'll love it again tomorrow when I get my sleep. Thank you. Hey, out and about with Diane. You're struggling to get 100 peeps. Well, I'm at 68 peeps right now. But again, to be honest, yes, it's great having. I think my biggest stream was 6,000 people watching. And it was amazing. And as a creator, you're sitting there thinking, yes, I made it. But you also sit and watch the chat fly by, and when you're like me, I really like to engage and answer the questions that I get, and you start to become one of the, because you will get caught in it. You can't mark everything that you want to answer. I try to do it, and then you just end up with doing a lot of the super chats instead, and you kind of feel like, I'm letting people down. So even though you're at the highest because you just got a shit ton of views, you're at the lowest because, I had to give up some of my normal stuff. I love EDB. Well, what's the part of chatting in such a huge stream? I like recognizing all the names here and getting to know online personalities. Yeah, that's like I just said. The bigger you get, the more problem you will have. But that's when I think a lot of people start watching it for the creator more than the group. And luckily, EDB is a very good creator, and she's very engaging. And I think they start to spawn subcultures around it. You can be on a Discord, you can have a Twitter group where you connect to the people you know from EDB's chat. I think if you are successful at doing that, building the community so the community will take care of itself when you grow your community, that's probably the best situation you can be in. But yes, it goes really fast, and it's really hard to follow along, especially like when you're like me. I'm very focused on the chat. Well, I had to. I woke up and then I got caught up in some chats. There won't be song tonight. I'm tired tonight. This is all kayfabe. Yes, all kayfabe. But it's everything's kayfabe in the media. But at least I'm not painting my face like a lolly and sitting in a hot tub saying, "If you pay me $20, I'll write your name on my arm." The grift never sleep. Just ask the expert always sleeps. I haven't seen him online in years. Thank you. Did you catch my show? You gave me the courage. No, because you stream at crazy hours when I'm sleeping. I got the notification and I couldn't go check it out because I got the notification when I woke up. People should really start embracing streaming at 4 a.m. Eastern Coast time. Would be really, really great for me because that's when I'm getting my morning coffee, my breakfast. So you'll get a lot more viewers from me. Well, that's one view, but you'll get more of that if you streamed at 4 a.m. A lot of people really think that 8 o'clock is a great time to stream. I'm sleeping. No one thinks, what about Baker? Another wrestling thing that you can look up. But glad that you took the chance. Keep going. Keep grinding. It's a grind. No one, no one becomes. Well, I don't know who to mention because there's been so many fallen angels the last half year. But if you enjoy it, who cares if you have 100 or 200 people showing up? YouTube should be about I have something I want to tell you, and people should say, I want to listen to that idiot, or I don't want to listen to that idiot. Instead of you owe someone something, you must watch this person. No, I don't, must not. Did I forget to set my alarm? What? I started the show at time. Am I not live? Have I been talking into nothing for an hour? What is? What? I actually had to turn off my alarms because I was up way before they went off. Have I already talked about Whoopi and the bakery? Lol thought you might have a say since bakery. One, I don't do politics on this channel, but if your go-to is it's because of gender, politics, color as the first explanation without looking at maybe they do have a boiler that doesn't work, you're an idiot. And I don't care if you're left wing, right wing, man, woman. If your excuse is it's because of my something, if they said, yes, I don't like you because you are a left wing hack on The View, I think that would still be covered by the First Amendment and the freedom of making. I don't know about commerce acts in the US, but in Denmark, you are free to deny everyone service. And I don't think if you said, because you're a left wing hack, that is discrimination. Because then a lot of universities would be in problems with not accepting based on merit. But if they said, I don't like you because of your skin color, could be something. But as far as I know, and I don't, it's a local story. And I don't know Whoopi Goldberg. The last movie I watched her in is Sister Act 2. We don't have The View in Denmark. But if you want to shit on a little business that is probably not turning over a really big profit, you should be very sure the allegations you bring. And CBS or whoever runs her show is probably kind of mad that they are going to shell out millions to a bakery because Whoopi wanted 2 minutes of I'm a victim. And I don't care which side you're on, because that had nothing to do with anything else than Whoopi wanted Whoopi time. I saw another stream tonight where men were the problem from a person I actually like. And I was thinking, why are we the problem now? And it was because something that I didn't know that there was a call for action for, because I treat everyone equal. If I see someone getting attacked that I like, no matter if it's Dave being hit with a shitty copyright claim or it's Aussie Overlord being told something, or it might be, I don't know, that crazy chick with the tonsil babies attacking Megan. Yeah, I would say stop doing that. Stop being crazy. I don't go around and say, well, that's a male creator. I'll fight for them. Oh, that's a female creator. Women, am I right? I think too many people are on both sides. Should really calmly stop fighting. Come together right now. La la la. Hey, K Squared. How are you? Haven't seen you in a hot minute. I'm so far behind. Anything I missed? Been here since the Danish guys started talking. And Oline Red, I have enjoyed talking to you for 13 months. We could almost have 2 babies now. And Jude Code Curio is here. Oh, thank you so much. Tonsil baby. It's another stupid drama thing on the YouTubes. I don't even know her name. Megan Fox and Tuck has covered it extensively. A lady who claims that someone made her pregnant through the neck. And as I always say, I know that the Virgin Mary got pregnant through the ear, but this lady got pregnant through the neck. And I don't want to, because she has a really crazy attorney, but check out Megan Fox or that Umbrella guy. They have been covering that case. Very local lady. Hey, Ada. Hey, Maya. Also a second since I saw you. Have a cold? No, I don't want to have a cold, but need to get some work done. So listening to the dulce tones of broken baker talking and singing. Yeah, well, it happens. God morgen til dig. Hey, Alapata Carrera. Another name I noticed before. Well, it's a good thing. Maya, I started doing this a couple of weeks ago where I kind of wanted to do something where I let my hair down a little bit and just saw where everything was going, because I do a lot of trials. I do a lot of bad things, and I see a lot of those trials lead to a lot of drama and people being mean and nasty. So I felt like I need somewhere where I can just hang out, maybe sometimes have a friend on, maybe just I'm gonna rant for about an hour and then go back to bed. And I started doing these like 3 times a week. So that's why I'm up this early or late American time. And yeah, I don't know. It's just I like doing them because I don't have to. I love my stab you days. That's my comedy show. But these are the ones where I could be a little more. I don't know what to say, because genuine sounds so phony. Because I'm not not going to be genuine. I'm not going to tell you about how much I weigh or what my real name is. So I'm not that genuine. But it's just where I can just let loose and complain about everything that I feel I need to complain about. And chat brings up topics that I'll then spin a yarn on. I did a TED talk. Was it Friday? I did my TED talk. Thursday, I did my TED talk on about why Rose is the evilest woman in all of film history. So that's what I use this show for. And she is. She is the worst woman in history. She could have saved his life. Yes. Well, my dad used to be in Denmark, because the state subsidizes the church, so we have these council of the community with each parish, and my dad was the head of that, and they did a Christmas trip every year somewhere and watched churches or something. And in a church in Germany, they had this stained window mural, and the priest was really proud of it. And then he said to my dad, "Yeah, and if you look up there, you can see the conception." My dad was the one where he's poking her in the ear. Yes, we read the Bible and found out that's how Mary got pregnant. I haven't read that part of the Bible, but Bible on a Budget with Jamie every Sunday coming soon. She will touch upon that one. Thank you so much, Sandy D. Nope, no singing today. Silly Pig, Volstorm, Donna Joe, Miss Holmes 66, and Nikki K was lucky enough to be gifted a membership. Sandy D might be a potential angel for the Stabby Day show. You never know. Laura Owens, yes, that's the name of the weird chick with the tonsils. I don't know what obsessed is, but I feel sorry for you. I hate teeth. Yeah, but I hate long hair as well. Well, I don't mind watching other. I just when my hair gets longer than my finger, I feel like I'm a hippie. You're gonna be Danish, yeah. You know how we Danes are. We like to be mad at something. That's our national mood is even though we are known as one of the happiest people in the world, is could be better. Nah. Oh, it's been sun out for 2 days, and you complained that it hadn't been sun for weeks. When I was out driving, I needed my sunglasses and left them at home because of that stupid sun. That's the Danish mentality. It could be better all the time, but we are happy because we're not Swedish. Well, I'm still hoping that conjugal visits will be back in Florida. So far behind. I have a teeth phobia. I talked about that on another stream. I can't stand watching teeth. Tooth infection. Oh, those are the worst. Oh. Oh. Yeah, get some penicillin in that one. Well, we don't. I think it's because we're very subdued people. So we'll get really mad and then we get down really fast, but we'll hate you for life. We won't yell. We don't do the tantrums that much, but we hate, and we hate with a passion. If you cross us once, oh, brother, you're going to work to get back on the good side. Most people will never. We hold grudges like a Scotsman who lost a penny. I remember you from before you had a stream in chat. I think it was during Debt Trial. Mentioned WW2 Danish People Heroes. I watched Deb on Rackets, so if that's me you were talking to, I don't know. Maybe I talk a lot, man. I don't like feet either. I think it's a weird fetish that people have. No king shame. Yes, king shame. People should king shame more. People gone too far. Feet isn't the worst kinks. There is furries, but I don't like teeth. And people laugh at me. Jamie started laughing, but I just don't like it. Yes, and stop all the infighting about John O'Keefe. Stop giving all the Smurfs so much attention just because they drove a wedge into the community. Stop. Get back to what's important. Justice for John O'Keefe is not putting Karen Reed in prison. Bipolar with a grudge. That's probably the best way to describe a Dane. I think it's very Danish. I think the British are the same. It's just a mentality, but that's the same with the grifting, because I'm not good enough. That Sandy D gave 5 memberships to me, I don't get, because I am not good. I am about the worst person who can do this, because we have what's called the law of Jante. I've talked about it a lot of times, where no one is allowed to be better than anyone else. If you are better at something, people will look at you like, you must be cheating. And you must never say you're better. If someone else says you are the best Danish football player ever, you say, well, thank you, but there was this other guy. So you're not allowed to recognize your own greatness. So we are bred into the having this, I don't know if you would call it self-deprecating way. And a lot of, as you know, when I talk, a lot of my humor is self-deprecating and stuff like that. So it's kind of a thing, but it's just weird that we, especially as a creator, but it makes me try harder. She liked it when I did that. Oh, don't do that. It's too early. Spiders are your phobia. I don't mind for spiders. Snakes, burn them to hell. How are you in the country that God loves? And the only sexual arousing country. Prince Lover, I am grand. And sorry I didn't see you yesterday. Sometimes it goes a little fast and I'm a little preoccupied, so I missed you, but grandbaby is doing a-okay. He was at his first Christmas market Saturday, and his mom got mad at a Frozen character because she threw snow that ended up in the pram. From the beginning of the conversation till when I talked to her again Sunday, yesterday for me, today for you, it almost changed from she was just flinging it out till she just took a ball of glitter and threw it in the face of my sweet little grandbaby. So she's becoming a real mom. Hey, Money G. Yeah, I am. I am. As I'm said, I'm barely passable as a creator. Legendary is the best. Yeah. What he excels at, we don't know, but when he finds that niche in life, he will be amazing. He will be the Elon Musk of finger drawing or something. Like our royal family, so handsome. Well, parts of it. Don't look up some of the older ones. When our old queen was born, we didn't have equal rights to the throne. So because she was a firstborn female, and the king's brother had a firstborn male heir, they were actually, it should have been him, and that was a guy called Ingolf, and he's probably one of the nicest people I've ever met when I was out playing music for the royal family in the when I was in the Navy band. But he has all the traits of why royal houses shouldn't intermarry too much. So we quickly turned our monarchy rules around so Margaret could be it instead of Ingolf. And that's probably a good idea because he was a little Alabama, if you know what I mean. Your baby turned 18 today, November 17th. It's inconceivable. Amy, congratulations. 25 years old and an 18-year-old kid. Isn't that amazing? I'm 27 years old and I have a almost 1 month old grandson. We don't age. Kids are just getting bigger. We are getting better. But congratulations. Nothing is like the love you have for the children you born. Let's do it for the children. You know who the toughest Viking were? Norway. That's because do you know how bad Norway was until we gave you all the oil? You had to fight each other to get food, so you got good at fighting. Who did you work for? Not until what's his name? Was it Harald? Came back from Byzantium and beat us Danes did you get your freedom back. And who do you lose to and who took your freedom away again later? So you might be good fighters, but we're good rulers. That's like Odin and Thor. Thor is a great fighter, really bad tactician. Boom, 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 boom. I'm so far behind. Mary Frederick and the kids. Yeah, Joachim is a weirdo as well. It was pretend beef. I was just wanted to know the baby baker is. Well, it's okay. It's like my pretend beef with Valhalla that somebody DM'd me because I was in Diva's chat earlier and made a little fun of Val, and someone DM'd me and said, "Is something wrong with you and Val?" No, we're fine. Yeah, but you're saying, yeah, it's just for fun. Your only son will be 23 in December. Congratulations. You identify as a grandparent, then you better bring some Christmas presents. Your baby's turning 32 in February. Isn't that amazing? We haven't aged a day since we got them. Well, there's always a little history lesson in my shows. Either that or a Bible story. Probably not one you want to write in any papers you deliver at school or talk to your priest about, but it's the baker look. Well, congratulations to him as well. Yeah, as long as the opposition doesn't cheat. When we lost parts of southern Denmark to the Germans, why did we do it? Not because we're bad fighters and had a very bad prepared position, and actually kind of was stupid, put our backs in. We lost because the Germans used rifled guns and not muzzle loaders, but from this is gonna sound I don't know what you call it, but from behind loaders. No legendary, not you in a club, but you know what I mean. So they could fire 3 bullets when we fired 1. So again, we didn't lose, they cheated. That's how you become the greatest fighting nation in the world, by never admitting defeat. Du-du-du-du-du. Well, how could Mary become the mother of Christ when she never had smecks? It's God's plan. So, how can I be 27, have a 23-year-old? Don't think about it. It's just a number. It was so nice when they. That was one of those weird transitions in life where your kid goes out in school and starts to go out there on their own, and you have to sit there and think, oh, "Don't do that. That's so stupid." But you know they have to go out and get punched in the face by life to figure out how to get on. But you get so proud when they come home and get some recognition, and you're also a little bit proud those days where they call you crying and say, I have to quit this job. I can't stand the boss. Is it okay? And you just, sure. That's there's always a hot meal and a bed if you need it, but you'll be fine because that means that they're looking after themselves. If they don't agree with the boss, they, yeah, I'm proud daddy. My baby is 46. My daughter is going through her Danish church confirmation now. I'll take notes when you tell a Bible story to help her out. You should, because remember, I am a member of the Danish People Church, tax paying 0. I think it's 0.4% of my taxes that goes to the church. So I am an authority. I have stock in the company. We didn't break up. We're on a pause. He's seeing other people. Again, this is just smart military thinking. Been with your husband for 30 years. That's a long time. But again, shows you that not everyone is a quitter like I was. I was married for less than 2 years. Hey, Haley. Yeah, I'm about ready to get back to bed again. I got up at 3 and had just, you can see it on more visage. I was just writing it so I could do my 1 hour show. My son married a nasty woman, finally divorced her. It's so hard to deal with her. Yeah, and you can't do. That's another thing, because you can't do that. You want to do. You can't tell him, "Hey, brother, she's treating you like crapola," because you'll just drive him even more into the arms of a really, really bad woman, because he's in love. He can't see it, and if you point it out to him, he will turn against you. You will just have to ride it out, and when shit hits the fans, as it inevitably will, be the strong shoulder they can cry on. Because you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, but you can't tell someone who's in love that it's the wrong person they are in love with. That's sadly, I've I've seen a lot of girlfriends, friends who are girls, not girlfriends, end up with the people I knew was the wrong one for them, because I knew their past. I grew up with them, and but you can't do it, because if you tell them no when they're in love, they'll just jump even further into their arms. Yeah. Luna is going on 35 this month. So you are 8 years older than me, Luna. Oh, cougar. Wow. Du-du-du-du. Survived another day of work, so that's good. Now I get to walk the doggies in the pouring rain. Well, life is grand. Yeah, because that's another thing. If if they don't get along, you won't see the grandkids. And we can have, I've told this many a times. When my daughter came and told me I found a boyfriend, my daughter never did much dating, never did much. She was very responsible, worked way too much as a young kid, didn't party that much by Danish standards. And she came and told me when she was, I think, like 17, that she met a fella. And I said, uh-oh. But yeah, young women, they have to go through a few, and that's fine. And then she wanted me to meet him, and shithead didn't get out of the car and give and shake my hand as the first thing. So I don't like him. And we were out eating, and he didn't say anything to me. And I was like, "What the fucking little prick?" Sorry, sorry, Jess. I'll put something in the swear jar for that one. And I really didn't. And he was a mechanic student, and my daughter she works in an office, is really smart girl, great grades, worked her ass off, doing great in life. And I said, "Why the hell are you with a stupid mechanic who's ADHD, who won't talk to your dad?" And She said, first of all, he won't talk to you because he's afraid of you. Oh, I like him better already. And second of all, he makes me safe. And no matter how many times you've said something stupid to her, the first time we were at my brother's house introducing him to the family, he said, "Oh, you're a bastard," to my daughter. And she was like, "What?" "Yeah, because you were born out, so you're a bastard." And I friendly put my arm on his shoulder and said, "Hey, I was baptized when my parents were born, so am I a bastard too?" Said, "Go play on TikTok." No, he's a sweet kid, but don't tell him that because I have to keep up appearances. But I never question as when she just told me he makes me safe. I don't need to. I don't need to go in there and say, "Well, you could do better," or "But he's not that smart," or "He has ADHD," or the only thing I want for my daughter for the rest of her life, when I'm not here anymore, is someone else is standing right next to her and say, "Touch her, and I'll kill her." That was my job, and it's still my job, but he can help me, and I think that's the best way of describing. It wasn't, "Oh, he's so hot," or "He's rich," or no, I'm safe, and especially these days and ages, to make a girl feel safe, I think is a wonderful thing. So never tell him that I said nice things about him, but the idiot that lives with my daughter isn't the worst idiot in the world. Yeah, but who sent you there? We did. And who took over when you left? We did. And you didn't stay that long in Canada, but it was the part of Canada that thinks it's French, so I understand it. My mom had no problem telling me how much she hated the guys I dated. Did it make your relationship better with your mom or worse? Because I might know someone who does that as well. And it doesn't make the phone ring more often if you tell your kids that. Well, I think we use the F word more than Americans do. No, she has plenty of smarts. She needs some, and he's a good grounding effect because she's very vroom, everything is planned. I'm going 200 miles an hour, and he's more like, "You told me that when?" And I think she needs that in her life. But they are yin and yang. They are oddly opposite, but opposites attract. Ebony and ivory go together like perfect harmony. No, but yeah, and again, why should I choose the girl my daughter is dating? I shouldn't. As long as she's happy and as long as she's not beating her or doing drugs, I'm all for it. Oh, I'm yeah, balance is key. Parents need to give their kids the tools they need and then let them make their own decision. Yeah, you need to get punched in the face once in a while by life to find out how to spend your money wisely, how to choose the right partner, that it's okay to say no. You learn that by the punches life give you. And some people never learn. Some people learn really fast. And some people are like me. I don't understand why I get punched all the time. I didn't do it. I blame Jamie. They balance each other out. Yeah. And and again, you don't need. I think a lot of people today have this checklist. Oh, he must be this tall, this wide, lift this much, earn this much. And in reality, when you find that, the first thing we always do is try and change the perfect partner we just found. It's just human nature. So Stop with all these checklists and stop with the, well, I have to because I'm getting 35 years old and I need to find the perfect partner isn't the one you imagine. The perfect partner is that weird guy that walks around in the gym always whistling Dixie, and you're thinking he's so annoying. And then someday you go over and say, "Can you whistle something else?" And he said, "No, but I can put my lips on you." And you find out, oh, that's magic. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Instead of that, well, I'm going for a banker with a six-figure salary because perfect doesn't exist. It's all about balance. And I think too many people are obsessed with everything must be perfect, and life isn't perfect. Life is great because it's not perfect. Remember the Matrix movies? What did humans do when they made the perfect world for them? We rebelled because perfection isn't what we're looking for. We are looking for projects. That's human nature. We want to change ourselves. We want to change others. We want to change the world. Just how it is. So don't be with someone you think is on the list. Yeah. I never tell a lie. I slightly change facts. Is that the subway guy? That's I don't get why some states won't televise cases. That could be an interesting case. Yes, thank you. Actually, it's all about what your expectations are. Well, that's a very important thing to figure out also. But you were lucky. Diva was everything you wanted. Well, she told you she was everything you wanted and beat you until you accepted it. But if you go out there with a checklist that he must have all of these perfect traits, no. That's where do you want to go in life? And maybe it's that buck-toothed person who yells, "Jan, Jan, Jan," and you look in those eyes and think, "That's amore." Well, it's a bad cock that can chase another one out of the hen house. Yeah, as I saw something again, it's not televised, but I saw something about there was videos for from around there where people that kind of were helping him because they said the guy was breathing. Again, I don't know enough about it. Seems weird. But that's another thing. We have it here, you have it there. It's too much politics in court these days because politicians get involved in everything. We have it a lot with we have that human rights tribunal thing down in the EU, and politicians use it when they can't get a law passed uh, in Denmark. They will sue Denmark in that to make it because then it's an enforced rule because it's an it would be like if Alabama didn't want to change the rule and the feds came in and said you have to do it because it's the law of I don't know how to explain it, but you can enforce it through a sanction in the court, and it's so stupid because it takes away our autonomy and just makes us hate them even more. So 1776 might commence in the EU. I can't say that. I will be banned. Yeah, and I think the videos showed that the other fella was breathing when they took him away, and people were supporting him, restraining him. So if they're brought in, I don't know. But again, it's New York. New York is like Massachusetts. I wouldn't like to be indicted in that state. Melanie has been covering it. Yeah, and the problem is it's really hard when you don't because one of the things you miss when you have don't have the video audio feed is if you watch the Lake and Riley case with us Friday, you could clearly hear how bad the crime scene was just by the tone of voice on the officer. But if I just did a transcript, she's here. Oh my God, she's here. Get me an ambulance. But you could hear this guy, his adrenaline spiked 2,000% when he saw her. So it's too bad. We have the same problem in Denmark. I tried to cover a case with a girl being chopped up in 243 pieces. Yeah, 243 pieces. Really interesting case. And I thought, I'll try and do that in English. But I couldn't really do it because you can't show anything. You don't know how people are reacting in court. You can't really. I had to read the transcripts in the newspaper. And it's one of those because he got busted because we have this street in a city called Aalborg, and that's just lined with bars and nightclubs. It's the party street in Denmark where everyone at some point have been drunk. It's you must go there. It's a fun place. But this girl, it was right after the second round of shutdowns we had. She was out partying, went to go home at I think like 6 in the morning. And again, in Denmark, we have a high trust culture, so women just walk around alone. Sadly, the later years, that's been a big problem here too as well. But she goes out and she doesn't have her jacket on. She was drunk. Walks down. When you go down the end of that street, there's a casino and a big hotel. Turn left. That's where all the cabs are because that's the main thoroughfare of that city. Goes down there, gets picked up by someone, and is that car is picked up on a security camera. So what they have is her leaving the bar at around 6 in the morning, and that car, and they get the make and the model of the car, and they can then spot him on security around that street early in the night. And I think they found maybe somewhere where you can see a partial plate or something. And but they didn't. They were looking at some guys who were working up there that had a car that looked like it, but they didn't really have anything. And then I think two days, 3 days later, they found her in a wood, chopped up and tossed there. Some of it buried, but he got lazy, so the rest he just chucked on the ground. And then they found this guy, and they found out that he had a aftermarket GPS system installed in his car that he could manually switch off, kind of like in the Carol Reed case with the chip in the infotainment system. He bypassed that and put in his own GPS system. But luckily enough, that system had a flaw. So even if you manually overrid it, it kept accidentally recording. So they could map out his entire trip, and he got caught because they could follow him along all the night where he had been, and he told the most crazy story. And then it came, he had been on dating sites portraying himself as a 16-year-old, and he was 28 years old or something like that. He was an absolute weirdo. I wished we had cameras for that one. I would love to cover that case. It was one of the more weird Danish cases. See you, Sandy D. You didn't just stop in to say hello. You've been here for a long time. Have a great night. Almost 10 p.m. You're looking at a sleepy pill with more coffee. Gina, it's been an hour, and today it's going to be a short stream because je suis fatigué. Not for nothing, but I'm a huge fan of Baker's Late Night with a banging hair. I actually put in a little product because it was just after my shower last night. So I thought, no, FD wants her little bit of Baker. Yeah, it was horrible. He tried to dissolve her, didn't really work, and then he just shocked her in the woods. he had a story that, as you women do, you women you're a randy bunch. So he picked her up. That's his story was, yeah. He picked her up down there by the bus stop and offered her to drive her home. She said yes. And then he started driving around the town. And as you ladies do when you're very, very drunk, she wanted to give him a mouth hug. So they went out to a football stadium, and she mouth hugged him out there, he claims. And then she wanted to. There's a military base right outside of that city. Um, Even though she lived the opposite way of that, she really wanted, because he used to be a soldier, she wanted to go out there and be shown the military base, because it's so interesting. You can't see anything from the road it's behind. I took my driver's license there. Um, but all you women, you can't. Watching a good military base, it really gets your motor running. We know this as men. Handbrake turns and military bases. Maybe talk about the Roman Empire, and you ladies, moist o'clock. So after they were watching that military base where nothing happens, she wanted to have La Lala's de Tuna rattled a bit. Not with this one, but the sad elephant. So he drove into a wooded area where she said, "Hey, tiger, you better bang me now." And but she just had to pee first. And then she walked away, and then she slipped and broke her neck. That's how she died, and then he had to cut her up. That was the story why she was dead, because she really wanted to bang him in the woods when it was freezing out, as you women always want to do. Such a stupid one. Yeah, I want to do. Yeah, he got life because it was such a heinous crime. Actually, two people voted for 20. Remember, we have split decisions here. Two people voted for 20 years. One person voted for incarceration because of mental illness, and the rest voted for life. 16-year-olds isn't allowed here, but again, have you seen Facebook? Have you seen Twitch? They're not, but they still get in there. Have a great night, Hater Mouse. See you later. Yeah, and this guy, he digs dug he dug somewhere, and then it was cold out, and he just, nah, I don't want to do it. Yeah, so he says that, and as a 27-year-old man who is perpetually single, I know most lady really don't turn moist o'clock if I show them a military base. They probably say, "Why am I getting your stupid soldier stories again? I really don't care." Oh my. Bakers come in small pieces. Hey, Farrell. Totally believable. 100%. Farrell wants to bang you in the woods. Yeah. If that ever happened, it would be you being banged. Farrell would eat you up. He just happened to have implements to the. No. Oh, sorry. I should tell the story. She ran into the woods, slipped, had her purse around her neck, got stuck in a tree, and snapped her neck, which is impossible. He then goes to collect her and thinks, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what should I do? I'm standing here out in the woods with a dead body. Oh, there's a car driving by. I'm trying to hide behind my car. There's a witness going past that saw him acting weird. But what do I do as the next thing? I call 911. No, that would be too weird. I put her in the back of my car and drive to the hospital because it'll go faster than calling 911. And because he used to be a soldier, he knew CPR. So he thought she would be fine, even though her neck seemed a little unsteady because she broke her neck, but she was making noises. So he starts driving to the hospital, and then she starts making more noises. So he thinks, I'll better pull over in another wooded area and go check on her just to see if everything is okay instead of continuing to the hospital. She's not really that well. And he thinks, nah, bummer. It was a total accident. So what do I do now when she's not here anymore? I'll drive her to the hospital, call the police saying, this is what happened. Check the ligature marks, clearly sees strangulation by a purse. Or, this is where the brainiac thinks, I drive home to my house, put her in my bed, stone cold dead, of course. I didn't grape her in my bed at all. That's not why her DNA is all over my bed. She broke her neck in the wood. We never had intercourse. And then I leave her there and go out and sit and smoke cigarettes, do a half day at work, and then call in and say, nah, I'm feeling bad. I'm going home. Stop at the supermarket, buy implements of dispatchment, go home, start chopping her up a little bit. But because of rigor, she's really hard to move around. So you do it over a few times. You drop her in a bit of acid. You try to burn her. It's that's the natural. It was an accident, so that's what you're doing. As he said, I had a big problem. I was trying to make it smaller because that's how you do. Yeah, that's if you've never been in a wood and a girl accidentally snapped her neck with her purse, have you ever lived? No, well, he had his hand comforting her because she was alive, so he didn't want to do CPR because she was making noises. Totally believable. Hey, King Bud. I can't remember his widow's name, but if you, I'll spell this. I think it's. I think it was called the Mia case out of Aalborg. So if you just Google the last one I put in there, it was just a crazy story. Oh, I loved it. If it's today, it's Sandy D. Yeah, that happens sometimes. No, but it takes a whole lot of long time to, or you need a very strong acid that you can't get easily. You can dissolve it in things, but it just takes a long time and it smells really bad. Yes, implements of dispatchment. What else has he done? Well, he pretended to be a 16-year-old to her, to that girlfriend. Um, he think he did some stalking as well. He had a kind of weird search history on Cornhub. Did he? Did he? I think he got. No, I think it was just some stalking cases. I think he had two other girlfriends who had him with stalking cases or something like that. Because he was a really weird fella. So, but that's the first unaliving he did. He should be. They spin a yarn just as well. But that I had two cases because there was two that came out around the same time. There was another one called. Oh, why can't I remember my own cases? It was only last year. But a girl who was out walking in a park and got stabulated in the park by some random, and they had a guy, and that's a very very weird case because it's the first time in history we used an undercover police agent to be implanted in prison to befriend the defendant and hear him talk about whatever. And That was weird. I'm still not sure if he did it or not did it, because I'm not a fan of police informants working, because I've seen too many times where I don't trust them too much. King Bob, thank you so much for gifting memberships to Shelly Babes. Look, King Bob, you got a little crown. Do we have a Fifth Amendment equivalent? Yes. You have an obligation to give the police your name and your address and your date of birth. You must do that. You will be charged for obstructing if you don't do that. Other than that, we have exactly the same rights an American have, and I would say we have better rights because we get to choose which defense lawyer we want. And we can choose any defense lawyer in the country as long as they're not working on another case, they will take your case. So it's not like we don't have a public defender's office. We have normal practicing lawyers, and I go in and say, I want that guy. And if he doesn't have another case, I will have that guy as my defense lawyer. Other than that, you don't have to testify. We even have a protection that's better than the Americans because our defendants doesn't get sworn in. They are allowed, it's the only person who is allowed to lie in court. So I would say we have more protections as defendants in Denmark than Americans have, even though everyone says, well, America is great. Yeah, but you are not, you can't perjure yourself on the stand. You can tell whatever lie you want as a defendant. As a witness, yes, you can perjure yourself. Of course you can. But as a witness, you are not obliged to tell the truth. If you want to speak, you can tell whatever story you want to tell. In America, you can be hit with, like we saw in the Adam Montgomery case, where Kayla Montgomery was hit with 3 counts of perjury in a grand jury. You couldn't do that in Denmark. In Denmark, the defendant can lie, and lie some more. We will, of course, as the judges, laymen, we will see, do we believe them or don't we believe them? But you are not forced to tell the truth, and we can't attack you and say, you lied because I have evidence you were. I have that case where a guy was 3 different places at the same time. He was arrested at a 4th place. He told 3 different stories, and then they said, but didn't you get arrested that night at this place? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's not perjury. It would be in America. It would be a crime to tell that story. In Denmark, it's just a waste of my time. Thomas Thompson, yeah. And she was a young medical student as well, as if I remember right. Get to bed, Haley Moore. But and Thomas Thompson is one of those. It's like being called, I don't know, James in America. It's just a nothing name. Everyone has something like that. Hey, Skybell. I am trying to. Maybe if the undercover was wearing a wire, I don't know if they were or if they were just saying it, but still, is it coaxed out of him? Because this said, well, I turned it on whenever I heard, I turned it on whenever I heard something. But did you start the conversation? How do you know which one is good? What? No, we don't elect our judges or prosecutors, but anyone who goes through university in Denmark is often turned really left wing. So that's Yeah. You'll never get charged with perjury in your own case. Well, Kayla Montgomery got charged with perjury for lying to a grand jury. So, and she was a co-defendant, I believe, for that grand jury. But still, it's not that you will never, because at some point someone will, just to spite them with some DA, maybe some fat meathead called Morrissey will say, well, even though Karen Reed was found innocent, when she said, I only drank Tito's that night, I have her drinking one Smirnoff. Perjury. At some point, some DA will stoop to that level. But in Denmark, you have the right to lie. And I think giving the defendant that right is the right. You can say, well, I'll plead the fifth because I have the right to not incriminate myself. But we all know what people say when someone pleads the fifth. Oh, she must have done it. Oh, he must have done it. Why else? Oh, they don't want to incriminate themselves? Here, you can just lie your pants off. Then everyone assumes the defendant is lying. No. Are you allowed to know the arrest history of the defendant? Yes. Actually, I will. We run our cases very differently. A normal case in the level I'm in, I have normal crimes up to a max of 4 years of incarceration. So a lot of drugs, a lot of violence. Our cases run, there's no opening statement. You read the charges. He's charged with punching LDR in the face on Friday the 22nd. When we frisked him, he had a gram of coke. And when we went to his address, he had 5 kilos of weed for distribution. That's the opening statement from the state. Then the defense will say, plead guilty, not guilty. And the first question is, do the defendant wish to speak? And if they do, they are the first person who testifies in a case. So we have their narrative before we go through every other thing in the case. I like that better because then it's up for the state to dismantle the defendant's story more than the defendants to come back and try and hit all the different witnesses the state had. But then the defendant will either testify or not testify. Then we call the witnesses. Bingo, bango. Closing arguments will be something like the High Court, I believe that I have proven that he punched LDR in the face, according to the testimony from police officer blah blah, who saw the video camera, and Farrell, who was dating LDR at that time and was out drinking with him. We have the gram of coke in the evidence logger. The police officer who confiscated it showed you the report, and here are the pictures of the 1 kilo of weed in his house. That's why I believe this defendant should have a punishment off. And then they will cite 2 to 3 precedents that shows that this is the normal level. And then they will say, this defendant on his record has previously been found guilty in, but you will only hear if they have equal crimes. So if I got found guilty in, I don't know, armed robbery, that wouldn't be mentioned to us. It'll only be drug and violence related cases, and we will know he's previously been charged, but been found guilty with having 5 kilos of weed. He did time for blah 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 this amount of time. He got off. We have that 80% early release as well. So he has 120 days in the bank that he needs to put on top of this one. And so we know whatever is on the record that is related to the offenses we are dealing with that day. Then the defense will come on and say, well, most of them will say, remember, it's not All doubt must be the benefit of the defendant, blah, 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 blah. I don't believe because it was Farrell's coke. She dropped it on the street and the officer picked it up. He didn't take it out of the pocket of the defendant, as you clearly heard from this and this. And they will try and argue why they didn't prove it. And then they will read 1, 2, 3 precedent cases and say, as you can see, this is the level if you find him guilty, which I don't think you should, but this is the level you should have. And then we have what's called an 808. That's where they talk to the criminal system if they want to cooperate with them. So we get a little bit about their family background, education, stuff like that. And then the final thing before we turn to the chambers is if the defendant has any last words. Normally they don't, which is smart, because those who do always end up saying something incredibly stupid. And then we go in there and we say, did they prove charge 1? Did he punch Legendary? Yes. Did they prove he had a gram of coke? No. Clearly Farrell had that coke and dropped it on the street. And do we think he had a kilo of weed in his house? Yes, we have the pictures. And then we'll say, okay, 1 and 3 guilty, 2 not guilty. And then we'll go in and see what are the charging norms for these types of crimes. And okay, he has priors, so we should go above that, or he has a clean record, so we should go below it. You then do those kind of things. So it's very different. Oh, we know what you did, Farrell. That's what Legendary told me. So, but that's how a case is run in Denmark. So very different. Not all the showmanship, not all the. It's objections is maybe you get them every 3-4 cases, but again, you don't have. We as jurors, they respect us because we are not just some smug off the street. They know we've been doing this, and I know most of both the prosecutors and the defense lawyers now because I've been doing it for so many years. So they don't do all that theatric stuff. Normally, if there's a new young lawyer, they'll try something Americanized, but normally it's just a business day. Yeah, and again, you don't have all of this shenanigans, and we don't waste time on experts. If you come in and tell me you're a doctor, I believe you. I don't care if you've been on this hospital or that hospital. I believe you probably know more about dead people than I do. And that's how we do it. They all say that. Why did you hold it in your nose, Farrell? Bad girl, bad girl. So only if the charges are similar would you hear about it. Yes. If you're on charge for punching someone in the face and you have 5 priors for punching someone, I would have those 5 priors. But if you also have 5 priors for selling weed, I would know about that one. And I can't. Let's say the 5 priors for violence. You served all of that, or it's so far back that it wouldn't be added to a new sentence. But you still have 2 years that you need to do on the weed business. We wouldn't know that you had 2 years we could actually kick in with a new sentence because it's not related. It's not the same crime that you've been stupid enough so you don't. And that's a weird one for some people that it's only if you have 200 days on left on both of them because you've been early released, you'll only release the 200 days from the same crime and put on the new charges against you. That's how I heard the story. Oh, that's why I'm here. Do I feel I have a better system than we do? I've never been a part of your system. I only watch it from the outside. I don't know. Ask any American lawyer, they will claim it's the best system in the world. Ask any lawyer on YouTube, and they will claim it's filled with corruption, nepotism. I don't know if that's the greatest system in the world. If it is, I don't like that you have plea deals. I don't like that the state have all the power in the way it does. I don't like that the public defender's office are overstretched and underpaid. I don't like that you can't choose your own lawyer. I don't like that you get overcharged as crazy as you do just to take a plea deal. But you probably have the best court system in the world. We just have a different system that I work in. I like that. Hey, Rexy boy. So do you have time that you serve as a so do you have a time? Yeah, we serve for 4 years at a time. 4 years, and you can do X amount of cases in those 4 years. And then you can re-up. I've been doing it for 13 years. I normally do 10, 15, 20 cases a year because it's just one-day cases, most of them. Yeah, and again, as a juror, you don't care. It's only because some lawyer at some point said, well, my doctor went to Princeton when their doctor clearly is not as good because he went to Nebraska University. So the jury should abstain from his testimony. And then another lawyer said, I better make sure that never happens again. And it just became norm. I think every expert, it should be the judge should force defense and prosecution to present their experts and say, that's great, fine. They all present them as doctor, whatever, from wherever. And he's a doctor. They can say he specializes in DNA. What is DNA? Shut up. I didn't sign up for physics. Move on. Yeah. But that gram of coke was probably bigger than the thing he would offer you later. Yeah, that's the funny thing. No, but that's why you should trust his expert more than other expert, because he could study medicine at a university that doesn't have a medical school. That's impressive. No, because we don't use experts. And if we use an expert, we believe him. I had a case where a guy was accused of falling asleep in his truck, tipping over and sliding across into oncoming traffic, where a man hit him head on. Those pictures weren't that nice. And a guy comes in who worked for the government bureau of blah blah, whatever it's called, safer travel. I don't know how to translate it. And comes in and said, well, you can see by the brake lines that this car was doing this and this car was doing that approximately. And I say, oh, he probably knows more about it than I do. You could get someone to disprove it, but then normally the defense lawyer will just ask, but how about this? How about that? We don't have these battles of experts. And again, it's battle of experts is nothing other than trust me, bro. Because Trooper Paul is a super qualified expert according to the rules. He's a raving idiot who doesn't know anything. But according to the rules, that guy is an expert and has now testified as an expert, so he can go to any other courtroom and say, yes, I've testified before as an expert, and they will say, you're hired because you are now an expert. So your system with all of these what years and crap, stop it. Do all of that before the trial starts. Get it out of the courtroom. And I like your jury system. If I was ever on trial, especially for something I wasn't guilty of, to use a bench trial. If I was in, I would say, if I was a woman, and I'm going to be very misogynistic now. If I was a woman in a TV-related unaliving, I would choose a jury trial. If I was almost everyone else, I would go with a bench trial, depending on the evidence, of course. But juries are way too emotional, and it's because we're not better because we've been doing it. I've also sat with jurors where you're thinking, "Ah, shut up. You're such an idiot." That's not the law. But yeah, I would choose bench trials for most cases. But I think the best bet if you're an Ashley Benefield is to go with a jury and hoping someone feels sorry for you. Good night, Camper for Life 22. I heard you wanted to be a dentist so you could pull teeth. Wild dude. See you all soon. Go to bed, expert. Well, our justice system is broken too. We don't put people away for long enough, is what everyone complains about, and we don't deport enough criminals because that's what everyone is complaining about here too. So no system is perfect, and when you live with that system, you will find the flaws in it. I just think because we have that big spotlight on American politics, not politics, court systems, especially now, because, and I think that's why there's so much drama around LawTube. LawTube have exploded. Everyone tries to be a LawTuber right now. Crime tuber, true crimer, I don't know, whatever people call us, wine moms. So many people are getting in on this. There will be drama. There will be a blow off. Where the hell was I coming from? I'm too tired. I was answering something. Oh, the justice system. Yes. When you live with the system, American has so much spot on it because there's all of these crime supers. That's where I was going. And it brings a lot of attention out there because, again, I can rustle up 170 people to watch my shows. But again, LawTube is blowing up. So there's, at the same time, most cases I cover have like 5 or 6 other people covering it. So it's almost always in the thousands. And we see all the flaws in those cases and we make fun of it and say the American system is broken. It might run perfect in every other case. I don't know. But the cases I've seen, way too many mistakes. Judges can be shady. Yeah, of course they can. They are part of a system. Bev, would you ever take a Bev to a bench trial? If you're not a cop in Canton, I would. So no system is perfect. There's always flaws in the system. So yeah. Hey, Miss Sade. For trials, you've been a juror. How many times have you thought an expert in a trial was full of? Never. Never, ever. Because we don't have a battle of experts. We have an expert coming in saying, this is the DNA. And then the state would ask them, what is that? And the defense will ask him, what is that? The defense will not bring in an expert saying, that's not the DNA. We don't have battle of experts. If you bring me a doctor to tell me about how the deceased passed away, I say, yes, there's bleeding in the eyes, there's clear swelling around her neck, probably a strangulation. You won't call someone then to say, no, she clearly had at least foot. We don't have battle of experts. It's up to the defense to ask question of the state's expert to discredit their knowledge. So we don't waste time about all this bullshit about, well, I need to bring in a dog behavioral therapist to disprove a doctor who worked with dog bites for 40 years. So I some people, yeah, I have cops where you feel, yeah, sure you saw that. Sure he was doing that. That's not what the surveillance tape. So of course, but you use that on every witness you have, where you say, do I trust this person? And I think that's the most important skill you have as a layman, is try and put all the biases aside and just say, Do I trust what they are telling us? Do I trust him because he's a police officer, or do I trust him because it seems like it's the correct story he's telling me? And I think that's the most important thing for a juror. It's not how smart they are. It's to understand the facts and then evaluate, is this a trustworthy witness? I was supposed to be in bed half an hour ago. That's the problem in the American system. You can buy your way out of prison. Just look at Alan Baldwin. No, that's probably a bad prosecution, but rich people don't go to prison, only for tax evasion. Monsieur. You don't trust me because I'm Danish? No, but you fear me because I'm Danish. You're gonna hit the rock. You're the best. Thank you. Well, FD, I can't stay up when you're in bed. Well, I can't stay up when you're in bed, if you know what I mean. It's been an hour, and it's more than I was doing 3 weekly 1-hour shows, and every time I hit 20 minutes, I think, oh, I'm done. I have nothing else to do, and every shows have been a 90-minute show. I need to go back, get some sleep, because I'll be back at roughly 8:30 Eastern, where we continue the Lake and Riley case today. Horrible case, 22-year-old medicine student who was blunt force trauma and strangulated to death at Augusta University in Georgia. Please join us for that one. Mo will be back. Jamie will be back. I'll be tired. Thank you so much for showing up and showing out. And if the stars align and everything's fine, I will be doing this again Tuesday night. Sunday, Tuesday, Friday nights are the nights I will be trying to do these 1 hour, 90 minutes long shows. So get to bed, everyone, and get back here in 8. Jesus, it's only 8 hours till I have to stream again. I need some sleep. See you in 8 hours, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Love y'all.